gonna go inside, but as you can see, we're supposed to unlock this. It's already been that way for us. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever been so scared to walk into a house.
I'll go in after you.
What are we gonna find? We're at 1905 Boxwood Avenue. Day one of how many days did they say this is gonna take to make this beautiful?
It's like 60 days.
60 days, that's it.
What's going on, guys? Craig Kuriokas here, joined by Shae Taylor from Bright City. And we wanna show you this awesome house that is a project that's gonna be upcoming right here. So this is 1905 Boxwood Avenue. And as you can tell, this house is completely turnkey. It's ready for its next buyer. Yes. Oh, wait, that actually...
Comments down below, who wants it?
Yeah.
It's 200,000.
200,000. We're selling it as is, no repairs. No.
You're gonna be happy, very happy here.
So Southern Harbor Properties is going to be doing the project renovation on this one, and we're really excited to see what they do. One of the great things about Southern Harbor is that they do wonderful, high quality rehabs, and they're sure to do some cool stuff with this. But we want to take you guys through this because there are a lot of reasons that you might consider purchasing a property like this, and it's not necessarily to live in. Could that be a good cut point?
Yeah, I think I'll speak to Southern Harbor even more, kind of thinking about when you look at HGTV and it's a fix and flip, you think since it's done quickly, it's not going to be a really great quality job, and that is not the case, especially when you get a great contractor like Southern Harbor here in Charleston, who's doing 30 different project renovation projects, which is another term for fix and flip. Ongoing all of the time, and as you can see, there's going to need to be a lot of work so that this is worthy for somebody, for lots of people actually, who are going to want to buy this home. We often see these flips, they are calling on like the first-time home buyers here because the budget for these are actually great entry prices here in the Charleston market that allow them to get into a home, build equity, and then really put that money here in the next couple of years with appraisals the way that they are here, and put that into a home they really, really do want. This is great for communities and revitalizing the area, but also just bringing more people into this really hot market.
And here's the thing that we really want to highlight. That's that this job, which is more on the real estate investment side of things, is not far-fetched for the average Joe to do. In fact, one of the great things about Southern Harbor Properties is that they do all of these rehabs with investors or people that might have some extra capital laying around and they want to put it to work. So one of the things that you might ask yourself is, why would you want to put your money into, say, a project renovation like this versus the stock market? And the answer would really be simple, and that's that doing a renovation like this just has a much higher return on investment. Plus, there have been untold numbers of millionaires and billionaires that have made their fortune in real estate. So there's definitely money to be made, and we're going to take you through and show you how.
That's exactly right. For those, whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're an investor, again, with just the way that things are appraising here from year to year, you're going to be able to take that equity and then use it or sell it the way that you want, buy another home, or just put that into another fix and flip. As you were saying with the stock market and things like that, there's really not any entrepreneur, someone who has a lot of wealth, who doesn't put it in real estate because it's going to hold its value the test of time. So this is a lot of really broad information. What the point is for us in this series, this won't just be one video as we take you from the start to the end, is we're going to break this apart so that y'all really truly understand and know that this is more simple than what it sounds like right now, us kind of describing this, because you have the right people in place. They're doing the work for you. It's all about just finding a good deal and a good place and getting the right people in line. And in 60 days, you've taken your money and you've capitalized on it.
Absolutely. And we're going to later on walk you through all of the numbers. We're going to talk about where and how to find these deals, how to actually get the wheels turning, and how to start in real estate investment. So let's go check this piece out. Guys, so one of the big things that we wanted to talk to you about today is just the idea that a home like this can actually be renovated by someone like you. Like, you don't have to be a big investment company or a construction company to come in and essentially flip a project like this.
So just like we were just speaking out there, as we break apart this series, we're going to introduce you to different partners that are involved in this. But our goal today is to kind of bring you inside and talk about what is a good property if you're out there looking, if you're not here, if you're not working with us, but you're in your own local community, what kind of property is a good one to find. And I think we talked a lot about, Craig, about finding a distressed home like this, but in a really nice up and coming neighborhood.
Absolutely. So that's really key. And if you're looking to do something like this as an investment opportunity, finding the deal is really where you're going to make a lot of your money. And so you can partner with companies like Seller Solutions, which is a company that my partner Earl and I formed to help find these off-market properties and connect them with people like you who might be interested in doing some rehab.
I wanted to follow up, and I hope I'm not cutting you off too early. That just makes me think about what you've recently shared with me, that sometimes we think we need to have a whole lot of cash or a lot of money on hand to get this started. But with certain types of loans, which you were telling me about, you can have as just little as, tell me if I'm wrong, 3%, like an FHA type loan,
3.5% down, yeah. So now that would not be if you were looking to make a purchase and do a project renovation as an investment, but if you were looking to buy a home like this and go through the rehab and really fix it up and get it to the standards that you were looking for and then plan to live in it, you can actually buy the home using an FHA loan. There's what's called an FHA 203K.
Wow.
And the 203K is essentially a rehab loan. It allows you to get the money for the rehab included in all of the financing, and you're still only paying 3.5% down.
Wow, that's really cool, because when I was a first-time home buyer, I didn't have the right experts around me to kind of tell me. I didn't have to necessarily find an already beautiful and prepped home. If I had time, I could have found something and kind of had a new construction and built something the way that I wanted it for already my
100%.
First home.
You could have done all of the renovations the way that you imagined them. You could fix the kitchen or the bathrooms the way that you wanted. And so there's definitely some perks to doing an FHA 203 or 203K, but the important thing to remember is that that's as a primary residence only. If you're looking to do a project renovation like this, really the best place to start is going to be in finding the deal or finding the home. And something like this really is your ideal candidate. And I mean, we're going to take you guys inside here in a minute, but what you'll notice right off the bat is we've got old asbestos siding, we've got windows that have been halfway covered up or broken, fascia board, tin roof, rotted wood all around the fascia and soffits. Like, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. But the cool thing is, on a project like this, you're able to buy it at a price that's affordable and one where it makes sense to come in and do basically an entire gut and renovate the whole home.
So Craig, you were talking about finding a good property, and I was talking about, like, think about the community, distressed homes like this, even though they appear to be scary, it's not going to be that difficult with the right people in place. Well, with that, I want to talk more about the backwards planning on the mathematical number side. I was a school teacher, and we talked about backwards planning all the time to make sure you get your end goal. If we just go about this willy-nilly without the financial end goal in sight, thinking about that and being like, okay, how can we plan accordingly so that we get to that, then that's where a lot of people get into trouble. That's probably the number one kicker that you want to make sure when you get into this, is that you have someone who's guiding you along the way, or if you're really great, just keeping this in a spreadsheet. So with an expert, with a real estate agent, they'll be able to tell you that after this project is renovated, what that will go for on the market. So that's your after renovation resale value. And knowing that, you want to have a really good contractor when you go and start looking at properties tell you what the estimated cost would be to fix something like this. And once you take that cost, so it's say $220,000, once this is all fixed and beautiful and put back on the market, and it's going to take about $90,000 for this, you take off that $90,000, so drop it to 70, so that's like $130,000 is what you that's too tight. You don't want to buy this for $130,000 in the state that this is, which just wasn't. We can't really disclose all of the numbers while this is under contract right now. We'll do that in our final video, but it was probably bought around 80 or 90, because that difference between your 80, 90 and that 130 is that profit margin that you're going to get after you flip it. We'll break that down more with the real numbers in the future. But again, the real key here is to make sure that you know your renovation budget and you take that off of that total value of the home after all the projects completed. And when you subtract that, you want to make sure that you fall well below below that number, even if
you're putting a safety net in place, right?
That's a great way to put it,
yeah.
A safety net, because things will come up, and we'll talk more about a 70% rule and the 30% that comes out of that here momentarily. But some people go on the side of 70% rather than 75, and maybe you can talk a little bit more to that. It just gives you a little bit more of a buffer.
It does, yeah. And so like in a nutshell, what Shae is saying is that when you're shopping for a property like this and you're interested in doing a project renovation, flipping an entire property, and then taking it to the market and selling it for a profit, it is just essential that you start with all of the math in reverse. So you start with the end goal, like Shae was saying, what are we gonna sell this house for? And in order to do that, you wanna partner with a real estate agent. You guys wanna get tactical, dive through all the comps, and really you should be looking at multiple different neighborhoods and areas to get a feel for what the different ARVs are or what the market comps are. In this particular neighborhood, we're seeing comps anywhere from the high 190s up to about 225, 230. So what we're gonna do is, with that information in mind, we're going to imagine what this house is gonna be when the renovations are all complete, and we're gonna have that sort of idealized renovation that we're moving toward throughout this entire process.
Kind of the reason why not everybody does this, because it's really hard to imagine that you can buy something like this and it's a lot of work to find just like the right people, and then at the end of it you can really come out with a really great opportunity. So
absolutely. And on the flip side, it's not all sunshine and rainbow. Like sometimes you can really get in a pickle, and there have been instances where I'm working with an investor who's doing a project renovation like this, and the numbers didn't really make sense. We were trying to sell it for too much and they end up having to take a hit. So knowing your numbers is absolutely paramount. So to elaborate a little bit on what Shae was talking about, the 70% rule or 75% rule, here's pretty much how that works in a nutshell. So we're gonna find the ARV, or the after repair value, by looking at the comps from the neighborhood. And then we're going to start working toward the price that we want to purchase the property for.
So upon entering this house, this is going to be the living room. I just want to premise that while yes, this is distressed and it looks like a mess, it's going to look wonderful and beautiful after this, and this is okay. This is what you're looking for. And then as we round the corner here, watch your step, everybody. This is going to be most likely the kitchen with this door leading off into the backyard. A lot of the times what we've been seeing is re-landscaped work front and back. We definitely know that Southern Harbor is going to do that again, and I'm excited to see what they do in the backyard at that point. Sometimes they've put in even fire pits, outdoor living spaces, but I have a feeling that this will be the counter side unless they really revamp and move everything. If we go back this direction, this house is 816, I believe, right, Craig, square foot? And it was previously a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It's either gonna be that again, or we're questioning if this one space over here, which we'll see in a second, is going to be a 3rd bedroom, just the way they're kind of putting up boards. But as we walk this way, this looks like it's gonna be a closet. Potentially maybe they'll move that water heater over here just to get that out of the kitchen. That's just my thoughts. But this looks like one of the bedrooms. It's gonna have 2 windows. I know it's just so wild to think that this is where somebody's gonna wanna live at some point with a queen-size bed, but I've seen them do it over and over again, even with a closet here. I'm kind of afraid to open up the closet. Should I do it, Craig?
Do it.
Oh! Oh my gosh! Oh wait, no. Woo! No. Oh, there's some old stuff in there. Old newsprint. I always think that's super cool. It's like a time capsule. We're just gonna leave it. And coming right around the corner, when we think about investment properties, whether somebody's living this for a first home or an investment property, this is really all they need. They just need a place to sleep, and they need to be close to downtown Charleston, the beaches, all that good stuff, and have somewhere to just come, rest, wash up, eat, just have some community time resting before they go out and about again. A little bit of a tighter room here than the other one, another closet.
What's in that one?
This one looks scary, Craig. Look, I don't even know what. JK, I'm just being dramatic, but.
No, she's not.
This is just me. I'm a lot of fun, that's what I'll say. Oh, we've got a nice floor ventilation in this bathroom right now. You know, you want ventilation in your bathroom. Oh, Lord. But look at that. Some already built-in ventilation.
Escape
hole. Oh man, well hopefully after this you don't want to escape. A lot of people, in fact, when they come to Charleston for vacation, end up coming to move here and live here. Craig and Shae.
It happens.
That's what I did 6 years ago. Came thinking I was gonna end up in Myrtle, didn't end up going to Myrtle, stayed here in Charleston. And now look at me. Now I'm selling homes to more people. And then our final potential bedroom. I'm thinking this is gonna be a bedroom just because they have this and it's blocked off. Maybe they just have this for support right now. I'll be really curious, Craig, to see what they do with this space, because normally in all their flips with homes like this in this area, they've opened up all of this and this has been more of like an open dining space. So maybe it's that, or maybe they'll make this a 3-bedroom, which will be really, really neat. But yeah, again, don't be scared, everybody. This is just video 1. Wait until you see video 2. Video 2, I wonder when we're gonna have that out, Craig. What are you thinking?
30 days.
30 days?
That's my guess.
Sounds good. So Craig, you were talking about the 70-30 thing and like
Yes.
after a house is fully renovated, what that would be on the market. Kind of break that down. How do we do that math in reverse?
Yes, so ARV is your after repair value, and that's the number that you expect to be able to sell the property for on the open market. So let's just say with something like this in all of its glory, we're gonna be able to sell this when all is said and done for around $220,000. All right, so you guys follow along on the math with me. So we're gonna take our ARV, which is $220,000 ballpark, and we're gonna multiply that by 70%. That's gonna give us $154,000. Now what we want to do is take the total estimated cost of our rehab, which in this case is going to be about $90,000. So we're going to subtract our $90,000. That leaves us with $63,000. So that tells us that we need to buy this house pretty close to about $60,000 to $63,000. Now you might be asking about why 70% of
Yes.
ARV.
That was always my question, because I'm like, where is this 70 coming from? I'm being an elementary
I thought
school
you're
teacher
just
before.
looking for a good deal.
You should, right, it's that simple, right? We keep saying that, but those numbers are really important, right? And so when I was asking why 70, it's because when you pull that 30% to the side, it's for different costs that come with getting into a project like this. Such as when you go to close, you have the closing costs. You also have realtor commissions, you have the lender fees, and you also have your property taxes.
And so all of that's going to be covered with that extra 30% buffer that you give yourself.
Yes.
And ideally, you've worked in a little bit of an extra buffer just for the project itself in case something runs over budget.
Right, like a little bit of a surprise, which is why we say 70-30. While some people might do 75-25 and only pull 25 to the side, well, that doesn't really give you any room for any surprises that might come up along the way with a distressed property like this.
Exactly. So guys, first off, we want to say thank you for following us along on this journey. This is going to be a lot of fun, and I hope that you'll stay tuned because we're going to see this thing through to completion. So we'll be posting periodic updates. We'll be doing videos to show you guys the entire transformation along the way.
So buy everywhere, that means here on YouTube, but also check us both out on Instagram. We're gonna have things in our stories, posts, all of that good stuff. All the information is down below for both of us. Whether you're finding my channel or Craig's, go give the other person love and go subscribe and follow them as well.
Absolutely.
Because why not have more information for your tool belt when you're going forward and doing investing?
Exactly. So if you're looking for any of my content, you can find me at Craig Kuriokis. And Shae.
You can find me here on Turnkey with Shae, or you can find me on Instagram at Shae Taylor _realtor.
There we go. So before we let you run though, we just wanted to ask the question.
So we kind of already touched on this a bit, Craig, but again, who can get into a project renovation? Who can build their capital and wealth?
Anybody.
Anyone.
Literally anybody.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're thinking about getting out of the job that you hate, or you want to be a stay-at-home parent,
yes,
or if you just want to change your life and take control of your income,
yes,
you have to start looking at things differently. That means looking at real estate differently, not just as a house that you can buy to live in, but as an investment vehicle and a way to build wealth for yourself.
I agree. Just kind of really hitting home that 9 to 5, not to put any shade towards those who are in that and they enjoy it. But for me and my journey, that wasn't something that I was enjoying. This is something I always wanted, was more flexibility, because I'm starting to think family. I'm starting to think more flexibility for travel, so that when I have kids, so that for my future husband and I, we can have that to spend more time together rather than time in the car commuting and things like that. But I know that that is a totally different goal for me. And also, side note, student loans are a real thing. That's the other current goal for me. Who else out there? Tell me down below. We will support one another. But then also, Craig, why you? Why is this for you too?
I'll tell you, for me, it's a little bit different. For me, I want to sort of build a legacy. I have this itch to build a company and you know, kind of create something of substance and meaning for myself. And so really, this is all that foundation. It's me sort of pouring myself out into this to make revenue or to, you know, bring in income to build up the company and really create something great, which is kind of what we're doing with Seller Solutions with Earl and I. So yeah, that's kind of my thing.
I'm really glad that you touched on that, because of what you're doing with Earl, who's our broker, Seller Solutions. That's why I named my YouTube channel Turnkey, because I believe that in life with real estate, when we make moves in a property, whether that's a home we're gonna live in or for an investment, we're turning a point, we're turning a corner, the next chapter in our lives, and we have to have the keys in place, whether that's the people or the right home, the right information. And so that's why we're really passionate about being here for all of you, even taking the time to make content like this, because without other people in my life, I would still be in the 9-to-5 and have no idea I could get out of that rat race. And that's where my passion comes from. And I know that's the same for you. Anyone else who's out there who wants this and wants to have a different legacy for their life, those goals that we touched on.
You don't have to be a licensed realtor. You don't have to have a ton of money in the bank. But if you're watching this and you've gotten to this point and you've decided that, hey man, I'd love to get into real estate investment, reach out. You can reach out to Shae or myself. We're happy to talk with you. It's not like we're making any money, but we want to help people just do what you want to do. Start making money and living a better way.
Right, and I think the biggest piece is if you are still really here, because we'll share all day long, you're in. Just please go ahead and send the message. We don't bite.
We'll keep talking. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, do all the good things.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell and follow along on this journey.
Yes, thanks so much guys. See you in the next one. Bye.
See ya.
So we would want to, I'm practicing kind of with you now. That will probably get picked up in the mics. I don't think anything can help with that.
It'll be all right.
So Craig, you were kind of talking about finding a good property.
Start over.
Oh yeah, what just happened?
I had my vape in my hand.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm gonna come outside, I'm gonna be like, well, this is Craig with Bright City, and we're gonna...
Woo! My turn! Ah, bye, phony!
Oh my God.